Forget 2 years ago. Where was that same type of energy 6 months ago? Ally with the Asian community. Why are we always being pressured, right, to ally with something, right, where it paints us as the aggressor, and we're not the aggressor. They always use the so-called African American demographic, our collective, as a major distraction from something else. Now, in this case, I think the major distraction is twofold. One is to distract from the majority of people, MAGA, who are doing these hate crimes against Asians, right? And notice, right? The most heinous of crimes against Asians were perpetrated, right? We talk about death by Caucasian men, but still yet the Asian community is silent. But let a video surface of a crisis actor, right, playing a so-called African American pushing or robbing an Asian. That shit is all over social media, right? But the white man who actually went in as an establishment and killed all those Asians, they're not sure if it was a hate crime. But an Asian getting pushed by a so-called African American, that's a hate crime. Does that make sense? Does it make sense, man? Hmm? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. Listen, when Britain, England invaded China, don't you know they have white only signs in China? Right? White only. Only whites allowed and dogs, no Chinese. Or some signs would say whites allowed, Indians allowed, and dogs, and no Chinese. They allow their own dog in before they allow the Chinese in. And they're in China. Do you remember when the same Caucasian people, not from Europe, but from America, decided, you know what? We're just going to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Japan. We're going to show them who's boss. For 20 years, the soil was polluted, and their major staple of food was seaweed from underwater caves, seaweed. Their main staple for over 20 years because the ground was poisoned by nuclear radiation. Right now, I don't know. I think dropping 2 nuclear bombs on innocent men, women, and children, I think that's a hate crime. I don't know. I think dropping 2 nuclear bombs on an Asian country is not a show of brotherly love. Okay, so the atrocities. I'm just dealing with history now. I'm just dealing with history. The atrocities that Asian people faced from other groups of people far surpasses this propaganda of African Americans against Asian people. It'll make your head twist around. Okay, African Americans never colonized China. African Americans never dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Asian people. Okay? That was the so-called white man. So if you want to do history, let's do history, right? There's a longer track record of anti-Asian hate by another group of people besides African Americans. So let's stop the bullshit, right? And they put the Japanese in camps in America. And then America turned around and paid them reparations for it. Let's not forget that. They got paid reparations for being put in those camps. Okay? For those who don't understand, how can America pay reparations to black people? Oh, America has a whole list of reparations that already paid out to various groups of people. But when it comes to so-called Negroes, all of a sudden now they dumb. I don't know how to add. What would be the ballpark figure? What would they do with the money? I don't know. Beep, 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 beep. Right? So let's get it, man. Let me read some of these. Let me read some more of these comments, man. Stacy elevated. Peace, peace. Hashtag being forever. Stacy elevated is here. And I read your message, Stacy, on IG. And when I remember, I want to send you something to do for me. All right. Of your request. Okay. All right. So I just want you to know I read it. But I wanted you to heal because you was in a car accident. I wanted you to heal. I didn't want you to worry about making me anything until you're healed. All right. And back on your feet. Yes, I'm ready whenever you are. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So yeah. So let's get back to this, man. Let's get back to this, man. Because we got to call it for what it is, man. And what it is propaganda. And let me tell you what happens when propaganda isn't checked. Allegedly, 6 million Jews died when propaganda isn't checked. Allegedly, right? Some say it was a little less than 6 million. Some say it was more, right? Nobody know the accurate number. But the point is that millions of people died because the propaganda wasn't checked from the onset. Okay? So being that we are wise in the 21st century and we've been through so much hell in this country at the hands of racist groups of people, not only so-called white people. They ain't the only ones who are racist against us. We have Asians who are racist against us. You have Latino community that's racist against us. You have people from Africa come over here, they're racist against us. You have people from India come over here, they're racist against us. We have people from the Caribbean islands come over here and they're racist against us, right? So when I tell you that so-called African Americans have no allies, it is what the fuck it is. And thank heavens we're finally catching on and we're unifying and we're getting on code. And it's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful, right? It's about damn time, okay? It's about damn time. All right, so let me keep it pushing. All right. So I showed you his face, right? Now let's go back to Twitter and let's recap. Look at this dude here. This dude make my blood boil because he's caping too much. This goddamn dude here. Let me see if I can pull this picture up. This dude here. So it's no more. I can't breathe. This guy, please, I can't breathe. What kind of shit is this, man? Nick Cannon wants council culture for anti-Semitic remarks. Holy shit. Look at this shit here. Please, I can't breathe. This is the shit I'm talking about. Okay? Now, why is this so important? Because words have power, family. If we realize it or not, every word that we say is a vibration. It harbors a certain frequency or energy, right? And the intention of your words will return to you if you know it or not, right? So if your words have good intentions, it will bring good back to you. If your words have evil intentions, it will bring back evil to you, right? So words is very powerful. So when you're chanting, I can't breathe, what the hell do you think you're telling over 500 trillion cells in your body? What are you telling your brain cells, all these trillions of brain cells, every time you chant, I can't breathe? Now this guy here takes it up a notch. It's no more I can't breathe with Nick Cannon. He put please in front of it. Please, I can't breathe. What is the significance? The significance is that when you chant that, you're putting a diabolical, insidious spell upon yourself, and you don't even know it. Okay? You don't even know it, right? Maybe because it's a lack of knowledge of self. Maybe because it's a lack of awareness, right? But if you don't know, now you know. So let's keep it pushing, man. This dude here, man, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that he has to bootlick the way he's bootlicking. It's very sad. Okay, I can't even look at him. I can't even look at him as a man anymore. Not as an alpha male, anyway. Right. All right. So, um, peace, lion in the building. Big shout out to my number one Bible student, my youngin, the all time numero uno, kosher milk sip sip. I'm so glad to see you, brother. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Everybody give a shout out to Lion, man. Okay. He's my number one biblical Bible student. Okay. Number one. Okay. He's grown since our Bible studies. He has grown some, and I just want to shout that out. Right. I have noticed your achievements myself. I have noticed it, man. Okay. Stand firm. Stand strong. Stand straight perpendicular to the square. Okay. Let's keep it pushing. All right. Shalom, shalom to all. And so, I have to shout out my students when I see them. Something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? I'm showing love to my Bible student, my number one. He deserves it. He worked so hard. Ain't that right, Line? Tell him how hard you've been working on that Bible. Tell him, man. All right. A little recap. Straight from the horse's mouth. Not my mouth, not your mouth. Asian Americans have weaponized our proximity to whiteness in order to murder Black people. George Floyd and Latasha Harlins should be here today, but they aren't because of our individual actions and our collective inaction. We can't just blame white people for pitting us against each other either, because the fact of the matter Stop. This is remarkable. She said, we can't just blame white people for pitting us against one another. So she sees through the bullshit, this propaganda of African Americans hating Asian people, and we wake up every day just figuring out, damn, what Asian person can I do some bodily harm to today? Right? So this Asian woman, she knows it's bullshit. She knows that the mainstream media is pitting us against one another for some diabolical, unforeseen, insidious agenda. Now, what part of that shit you didn't understand? Okay. Is that Asian cultures have a huge colorism problem and a huge problem with Black people. Asian Americans have weaponized our proximity to whiteness in order to murder Black people. George Floyd and Latasha Harlins should be here today, but they aren't because of our individual actions and our collective inaction. We can't just blame white people for pitting us against each other either, because the fact of the matter is that Asian cultures have a huge colorism problem and a huge problem with Black people. Asian cultures have a huge colorism problem and a huge problem with Black people. Asian cultures have a huge colorism problem. Oh, she said Asian culture have a huge colorism problem. and a problem with black people. She said Asians has a huge colorism problem and a problem with black people. She said Asians have a huge colorism problem and a problem with black people. She said Asians have a huge colorism problem and a problem with black people. She said Asians have a huge colorism problem and a problem with black people. She said Asians have a huge colorism problem and a problem with black people. She said Asians have a huge colorism problem and a problem with black people. She said it, not me. She said it. An Asian woman speaking her truth to power. She said it. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing, shall we? All right. Now, what we want to look up here is this guy. Can you turn that down, please? All right. Now I'm going to go in here. Right? Where is it? As a matter of fact, let me go here. I'll hold that spot. Let me go here. Y'all remember Peter Lang? Officer Peter Lang. Anybody remember who that is? The Asian cop who shot an innocent black man coming down a stairwell. Right? Just minding his business. He was so scared with the gun, he shot the first thing that was moving. Peter Lang, you remember that?